Let's make some creamy paprika chicken. It's Tootsie Tuesday, and we're gonna be making a dish that I found in her little handwritten. I think that this notepad is one that she used recipes all the time from because they're kind of like jotted down, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe missing a couple steps. So I had to Google this one a little bit because I'd never heard of this. She has it listed as chicken breast and sour cream. But when I Googled and asked chat, it basically said that this is an old school recipe, creamy paprika chicken, or called chicken paprika. Chicken paprika. I don't know. Anyway, the recipe calls for 8 chicken breasts. I didn't have that many. I only had 4. But if I had to do this again, I would definitely use chicken thighs. I think that would be a lot more flavorful and juicy. So next time, I've already preheated my oven to 350 and sprayed my 9x13 baking dish. Go ahead and get the dipping sauce ready. That's a 1/2 cup of melted butter, tablespoon of lemon juice. Oh, definitely should have done the paprika first so that my spoon wasn't wet. Then you're gonna do a tablespoon of paprika. That's a lot of paprika. All right, let's give that a little mix. So I went ahead and washed my chicken breast. Do not fret, they have been washed. So I'm just gonna sprinkle those with some garlic salt. Okay, got that ready. And then there's like 2 parts to this. So we're gonna bake the chicken breast for 30 minutes this way, and then we're gonna add some ingredients. So you just basically take the chicken breast and dip them down in your butter mixture. Coat that really good, nicely with that garlic salt. And listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's hard to show up and do cooking videos when miserable people take the joy out of it. You know, like I have thick skin. I honestly do. But you know, sometimes certain things when you're already struggling with like things mentally and going through your own stuff and people have ugly things to say, like it just gets to be too much. When honestly, I started this little cooking thing for girls that were younger than me. Like, you know, I'm not a chef. I don't do anything fancy. It's just quick, simple meals and meals that my mother-in-law left behind. So if you don't like that, just scroll. Okay, got them coated. Let's pop these in the oven. This will cook for 30 minutes. Let's get our next step ready. The recipe calls for a 3-ounce can of mushrooms. I couldn't find a 3-ounce. This is 4. That's fine. You know what I mean? We like mushrooms. It doesn't say whether to drain the mushrooms or not, so I'm just going to leave the juice because I do know at the end you use the juice that these bake in, so we're keeping it, okay? 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire. Just give that a little mix. Okay, that has been 30 minutes, so we're just gonna top it now with our mushroom mix. I need probably a spoon to spoon this over, but I'm not messing up any more dishes, so we're just gonna go with it, you know what I mean? We're gonna pop it back in the oven for 30 more minutes. Once your chicken has baked for the additional 30 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and make our sauce. I scooped out some of the juices from, that's what you're gonna use, is the juice from what you bake your chicken in. So I have almost a whole cup here. I can add more if needed. I'm running out of time. My chicken is still cooking for another 10 minutes, but we have a ball game to get to. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on my sauce, and then if I see if I need more liquid, I'll add it. 2 tablespoons of flour. Just whisk this so there's no clumps. You're gonna want it to thicken up just slightly, and you are gonna add some sour cream, but I'm gonna let this whisk together for just a couple minutes before I add in that sour cream. And also, when you add in your sour cream, you're gonna wanna make sure that this is on like a low heat. This is just the juices from our chicken and then the flour, okay? So once I see that this starts to thicken a little bit, I'll turn it down to low and add in my sour cream. Also, I'm wanting to skip a step. It says to transfer it to another plate. I ain't got time for all that. I'm not trying to dirty up any dishes. We're using that pan that we cooked in, okay? You're gonna treat this just like you would any gravy mix, so that's actually like perfect. It's starting to thicken up, so I'm gonna turn that heat down to low. Let's add a 1/2 cup of sour cream, which is gonna be half of this container. Get that mixed in really nicely and keep this on a low simmer. The recipe does not call for it, but I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper to my gravy. Okay, our chicken is done. We're gonna go ahead and top it with our gravy mix. Right here where you can see, and you can add almonds to the top. The recipe calls for that. I did toast my almonds, but that is a personal preference. So if you do not want to toast yours, you don't have to. You can just add them, or you can leave them off if you want to. So we're just gonna coat those chicken breasts really well with this gravy. Doesn't that look so good? We're off to a ball game, but I can't wait to taste this.